Alright, so gas stoichiometry. If the other information is given for the chemicals of the reaction, for example mass, then you can use the ideal gas law to perform calculations. The ideal gas law, remember, is PV equals nRT. So, our examples here are 1. If 300 grams of propane burns in a gas barbecue, what volume of oxygen at SATP is required for the reaction? Well, propane is C3H8, okay? And we're going to add that to oxygen gas, and we're going to get carbon dioxide and some water. Okay? That is in a 1 to 5 to 3 to 4 ratio. So, I'm given the amount of propane. I want to know the amount of oxygen. So the mass is 300 grams. I can figure out the molar mass there to be 44.11 grams per mole. I want the amount of oxygen. The question asks for the volume. I know the pressure, the temperature, R obviously, okay? So first I have to figure out the number of moles of my given. So to do that, I use N equals my mass over my molar mass. It says 300 grams over my molar mass of 44.11 grams per mole, which means that I will have 6.80 moles. Okay, I'm going to use that to figure out the amount of wanted. I multiply that by my mole ratio of 5/1, or wanted over given, and that'll give me 34 moles. I then use PV equals nRT to figure out my volume. Okay, I just easily plug in the equation, and the volume there should be 842.94 liters, or, since I have only 3 significant figures, 843 liters. Okay? So, here are some applications of stoichiometry. First is limiting and excess reagents. If you think about making double cheeseburgers, say, okay? You've got 1 bun and 2 meat patties gives you 1 double burger. If you have 2 buns and 4 meat patties, you have 4 double burgers, and if you have 2 buns and 2 meat patties, you will only have 1 double burger. In this case, the buns are in excess, the meat patties are the limiting, okay? And so, it goes again for this, where if I only have 2 buns and 1 million meat patties, I'm still only going to get 2 burgers out of that. In this case, the buns are limiting, the meat patties are in excess. So the limiting reagent is the reactant that determines how much product can be formed in a reaction, where the excess reagent is the reactant that is present in larger quantities than necessary. Okay, so I don't need 1 million meat patties, but if I had them, it's not at all affecting the amount of double cheeseburgers I can make. So, steps for these types of questions. 1. I need to write the balanced chemical equation, including the states. Very, very important. We should be doing this for all questions that ask us about a reaction. 2. We need to calculate the number of moles of each reactant using the number of moles as mass over molar mass, or any other form, depending obviously on whether it's a solution or a gas. Then we need to even out the number of moles for each reactant by dividing the coefficient in the balanced equation, by dividing by the coefficient in the balanced equation and compare. The one with the lowest number of moles is the limiting reagent. Then, finally, I'm going to use the limiting reagent moles to calculate the answer. And in the next video, we will do a few examples of these.